Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about USN. Now, you may have seen me brought it up many times, and judging by how many times I do it, I finally get to talk about, okay. So, let's start doing a little history of how this game of Five Nights at Freddy's exists. Now, back in 1977, someone built a theming restaurant called Chuck E. Cheese. It practically was, and probably still is, a successful restaurant. Anyways, it didn't get a video game based on it until 37 years later. Yeah, 37 years. What took so long? Scott Coffin, that's who. August of 2014, a game was released about it called Five Nights at Freddy's. In November of 2014, it got a sequel. Then, some reason, it got another sequel. And there were a bunch of videos, and of course, many people liked it. After that, there was another sequel called Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And this was called this to me was called the Golden Age of Five Nights at Freddy's content. Meanwhile, now I explained a little history about me. Meanwhile, I was searching Five Nights. Searching for Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, I wasn't searching for it, but I was searching something on YouTube about a video game series. And see if there was any video game series I never heard about before. I searched for one, and it was a video about someone made a video about Yummy Mash and Markiplier playing a fan-made game called Joy of Creation. I click on the video, and that was by an accident. I figure out it was called Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, since Five Nights at Freddy's at the time was still a series, back then, Five Nights at Freddy's, long before Sister Location, long before Sister Location came out, the theories, for some reason, the videos were interesting, and of course, for the most part, well-made videos. Then Sister Location came along and changed a little bit about Five Nights at Freddy's. The videos still back then were interesting and good, most part good videos. But Five Nights at Freddy's, just like anything on YouTube, was quickly done by a few badly done videos. After I was done the series, I revisit Five Nights at Freddy's and figure out that there was another game called Pizzeria Simulator. And there was another game released after that one. I figure out that I thought it was going to be a game where you play in the Fredbear's Family Diner restaurant. I quickly figure out there were new characters added to Pizzeria Simulator, as well as a mix of other characters, and I click on the video. It turns out it was a spin-off customizable game called USN. Anyways, I watched few other videos on Pizzeria Simulator and USN alone, and my big surprise, I never thought this day would come. USN by the start people were trying to confirm it was until I listened closely to the voice lines and figure out it was unclear what the player character was. I thought to myself, USN is impossible to prove to be its canon. So, right now, and that leads up to today's video. Let me explain something. Before I watched videos on Five Nights at Freddy's, I was watching other stuff. Later on, I started watching YouTube and FNAF stuff. I thought at first, how I'm gonna prove that USN it wouldn't be canon. Well, let's point out the reasons. Evidence number 1, the voice lines. Okay. So people think you played as the main focus of the story of the series, William Afton. But here's how we prove that it's not clear what player character you are. Now, if we're playing as William Afton, then why are the characters saying stuff like this? Okay. So, Foxy. What does he say? What does he say? What does Wizard Bonnie say? What does Nightmare Fredbear say? What do any of the characters say to the player that doesn't prove it's clear what player we are? In the previous games, it was pretty clear what character we are, except for the third one. Why? Because Springtrap did not know what player you are, so it would be impossible to him talk to the player. But the voice lines do not match what the animatronics are, and don't sound like they match what the lore is. Voice lines like, "Arg, I came for your booty," and sure you know, and of course, "Where's my beak?" Notching your forehead, of course, and of course, "Want me to take you apart or put you back together again, or you would not be spared, you would not be saved, or don't you hate being killed by secondary characters?" Or even monkeys fall from trees. Or how about voice lines like, "Move over, Freddy Fazbear, Happy Frog's the new star of the show." Evidence number 2, the player. Okay, so, and the most confusing one of all, the one you shouldn't have killed. Yeah, nice try. But the one you shouldn't have killed, yeah. The one you shouldn't have killed is not related to William Afton. It was more related to Michael. Evidence number 2, both versions of Springtrap being in the game. Here's the thing, if our player is William Afton, then why both versions of Springtrap is in the game? We know 100% that both versions of Springtrap is William Afton. If our player is William Afton, then why both versions of Springtrap are in the game? If you don't know, Springtrap has few alter egos. And also don't know, Springtrap and Scraptrap are both the modified versions of Spring Bonnie. Evidence number 3. Not all of the animatronics are William Afton's creations. Now, for a few samples, here they are. Music. Nightmare. Lobit. Nightmare Chica. Nightmare Fredbear. Phantom Freddy. Phantom Mango. Ned Bear. Mr. Hippo. And of course, Pick Patch. These are many examples of why not all the animatronics from USN were built by William. Some were, but some are not. Evidence number 4. The voice lines, of course, the face we see in the game. The face we see in the game has nothing to do with it being part of the lore. If you don't know, that's just a picture of one of Scott Cawthon's children. I said it. That is an actual picture of Scott Cawthon's kids. One of them. He has many, but that's one of them. That is his son. That will nothing to do with the lore. But here is evidence number 5. Missing animatronics. Believe it or not, there are many animatronics missing from USN. It being canon, so if one be canon, it has to have all of the animatronics. Some reason, some of the animatronics are not there. Now, I'm not going to include help wanted or security breach animatronics as those games were released when USN came out. But there's something off about that. Here are the missing animatronics. Endo 01. Withered Freddy. Withered Foxy. Shadow Freddy. Endo 02. Phantom Chica. Phantom Foxy. Phantom Puppet. Nightmare Foxy. Jackal Bonnie. Spring Bonnie. Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon. Bonnet. Electropab. Yendo. Pan and Pan Stan. That's just many animatronics missing from USN. Evidence number 6. Of course, is it wasn't the game I thought it would be. It wasn't a Fredbear's Family Dino game. That would more sense to be canon than USN. USN should have been released after Security Breach. It would include those animatronics as well as the previous main title, Help Wanted. So, how people thought that it was canon.